What is a Bitcoin community? As always, it's your favorite Bitcoin maximalist from Nairobi, Kenya, Master Guantai. Welcome to Master Guantai Bitcoin Ni series. I'm doing a 5-part series on Bitcoin communities all over the world, featuring what they have done and how it is beneficial to start your own Bitcoin community. Let's get started. In the Kenyan context, community is called a mtaa, as connoted by the name Bitcoin mtaani. Mtaani means your neighborhood, yani mtaa yako. So in Kenya, when we ask you mtaa yako ni gani, I'm asking you which is your neighborhood? What is the name of your community? So it is very important to be close to your community and start a Bitcoin circular economy. This starts by you personally taking the time to learn about Bitcoin, from the basics of what Bitcoin can do for you in regards to being self-sovereign, using it as a store of value, and most especially as a medium of exchange. As a medium of exchange, this means that, let's say in your local neighborhood, you can come and buy something. Let's say me as Master Guantai, I need to take my dinner, I want to eat some meat. I can come to the local butcher, and instead of me paying in Kenya shillings through cash notes or M-Pesa, he can choose to accept Bitcoin as payment. So when he accepts Bitcoin as payment, I get the meat and go to prepare my supper, and then when the butcher closes, maybe he needs a haircut. So ataenda pale kwa kinyozi to the local barber, he gets his haircut, he's looking fresh and clean, and instead of paying with fiat, which is the Kenya shilling, he can also make the payment in Bitcoin. So this all culminates to payment and of goods and services that we ordinarily use, but instead of using the fiat standard, which is using the Kenya shillings, we use Bitcoin as a means of payment. When it comes to the store of value proposition, so when I went to make my purchase of the meat from the butcher, let's assume that the butcher got 100 customers. So from the 100 customers, let's assume even 40 of them bought the meat in Bitcoin, and then the 60% he received in Kenya shillings. So if the butcher is in a position to buy some more meat to sell the next day in Kenya shillings, just because assuming that the slaughter he goes to buy the meat from does not accept Bitcoin yet, he can choose to use the 60% of the money he made to make the payment in the Kenya shillings. But now, the 40% of the amount of money he got the previous day made by Bitcoin payments, he can choose to hold it and do his savings for the business and even for himself personally, or if he has a family, in Bitcoin. And that is very, very simple. Let's assume that we are doing this transaction. His Bitcoin address comes from the Blink wallet, which I personally advocate for every one of you to download. If he got the payments through Lightning, meaning instant settlements, yani akitumiwa pesa itakuwa received faster than even him receiving money on M-Pesa, hiyo pesa yake, the Bitcoin that he got the previous day, will be in his Blink wallet. So now the butcher can decide to go a step ahead, and rather than keeping it on the Blink app, he can choose to use cold storage. When I talk about cold storage, what I mean is I'll link another video to properly take you through this, but what I'm talking about is using a hardware wallet. What is a hardware wallet? A hardware wallet is basically, you can use the CoinKite wallet, you have the seed signers, and you also have products from Blockstream and different other hardware wallets. So the best thing about having a hardware wallet is that you can totally do it offline, so that you have your own seed phrase, so that now it's not, you can do it in a way it's totally not connected to the internet in any way. So you're self-sovereign, meaning that the butcher now cannot suffer from any interventions by the government devaluing the Kenya shilling or any currency from whatever part of the world he lives. So now, when it comes to Bitcoin communities, the beauty about it is everyone, your friends, your loved ones, people you live with, are in a position to be self-sovereign. And as a community, you can save in Bitcoin, you can do your chamas in Bitcoin, like with the case with the new product from Machamkura. You can save in Bitcoin as a group. Yani in Kenya we call them chamas, which are very loved by our ladies and our mothers. So our ladies can do their chamas and save in Bitcoin, do development projects in Bitcoin. You can send and receive Bitcoin from across the globe any day, anytime, regardless of a public holiday, or like banks are closed, or there is any delays in regards to your bank, or any M-Pesa transactions which have issues. The beauty of having a Bitcoin circular economy is your own community grows and thrives, and your value for your work and your time and your effort in your community is guaranteed. No one can mess up with your finances. So I encourage you as Master Guantai to start your own Bitcoin community wherever you are in the world. There are very many Bitcoiners and very good examples of Bitcoin communities across the globe that yourself can talk to, or even watch videos or interact with, for you to learn about Bitcoin. Tomorrow I'll give you a special Bitcoin community here in Africa. They even have a documentary. The name is Bitcoin Ekasi. Bitcoin Ekasi are doing a fantastic job in South African townships, empowering the youth through learning and even fun activities such as surfing, so that you can get to see how fun it is and how practical it is to start a Bitcoin community in your own area. As always, thank you for following, sharing, liking, subscribing to multiple platforms. As always, I encourage you to follow me on my TikTok channel, masterguantai.bitcoin, so that we can get this information to the demographic of youth between, let's say, 16 to 25 years old, so that we can encourage our youth here in Africa to onboard to the Bitcoin standard. As always, keep it Bitcoin only. Asante sana.